You guys have been asking for it, man. And finally, I have delivered. Courtesy of ProWrestlingTees.com, you can now own the official WWE Off The Script t-shirt. And to get yours today, all you got to do is simply go to www.ProWrestlingTees.com/offthescript, and you now can represent the number one fucking source for all WWE right here on YouTube.com. www.ProWrestlingTees.com/WWE Off The Script. And remember, hashtag fuck those other guys, man. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, and I have fabulous news. Fabulous fucking news, man. It's supposed to be on July 11th. Right now it's the 10th. I'm recording this for Sunday, man. It's Friday night. I'm looking forward to Saturday, which is tomorrow, and my channel being back on YouTube in good standing. Couldn't wait, man. I couldn't wait for it. So I get home from work, and I look at my channel, and I see all those green dots. If you're a content creator, you know what I'm talking about, man. If you see red, you got a fucking problem. But if you see green, everything is good, man. JD's channel is now back in good standing. I can't believe it. It's been a long, fucking, terrible, bumpy road, man. But we're here. And I stuck through it. I'm back. And we're going to do things just the way we were doing them, man. Thank each and every one of you for the fucking support. Thank you for sticking it with me. Thank you through fighting with me through all the fucking bullshit on here. This is very important to me. And I love doing this for you guys. And you don't have to be stuck watching me rush through an off-the-script episode. There's no more fucking time limit. I'm going longer than 15 minutes, motherfucker. This is Off The Script, and we're back, guys. We're back, and as always, this is the number one fucking source for WWE content right here on YouTube.com. Off The Script, number 73, part number 4 for JD's channel, man. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, thank you for all the love and support. Now let me get into the news, guys. I got a lot of news to go over. I got Global Force Wrestling. I got TNA news. I got Chris Jericho news. I got Jim Ross publicly stating that Steve Austin will not wrestle at WrestleMania 32. I got news on Tyson Kidd and his near fatal neck surgery. Nobody's reporting that. And I got news on NXT Brooklyn and what everyone is talking about when it comes to NXT coming to JD's backyard right here in New York City. If you're not following me on Twitter, at JD from NY206, best possible way to keep up to date on what you see here. If you guys want to interact with me, that is the easiest way, man. Just shoot me a follow on there. If I think you're good enough to follow me and you're not a fucking troll, I will definitely allow you to be viewing my content on Twitter, man, because I'm private on there, just to keep everything to a minimum with the trolling and the fucking bullshit that happens on the internet, man. I do it for you, and I do it for me and everybody's safety, man. I don't want no bullshit. All about the content and all about my fucking subscribers, man. That's all I care about. Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. If you guys don't have your Pro Wrestling tees, man, Off The Script t-shirt, official merchandise, go get it right now. www.ProWrestlingTees.com/WWE Off The Script. And that's pretty much it, guys. Let's get right into the news. Thank you very much. I'm going longer than 15 minutes, motherfucker. I'm going longer, motherfucker, all right? Start off with JR, man. JR, WWE Hall of Famer, says the ship has sailed on Stone Cold Steve Austin competing at WrestleMania 32, which has been a rumor since they announced that the event will take place at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. WrestleMania 32 will emanate from the home of the Dallas Cowboys on April 3rd, 2016, while Austin has claimed that he'll likely be in the arena doing something at WrestleMania. He stated time and time again that he will not be wrestling anyone on the card. Initially, it was reported that WWE wanted to book several big names to headline the event, as this would be a chance for the company to set a new indoor attendance record, and it would be the biggest crowd WrestleMania has ever seen. WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels has even said that WWE asked him to participate in a match or an angle at WrestleMania 32, but he's sticking to his guns and not wrestling again. So that is pretty disheartening if you are a Shawn Michaels fan. Steve Austin toyed with the fans, saying that he was training for one more match about a year ago, and that he'd want Brock Lesnar if he had to choose an opponent for himself. When Paul Heyman appeared on the Live Stone Cold podcast WWE Network program in June, Heyman lobbied for the match, which caused Austin to launch into a promo about a possible match with Brock Lesnar, saying he'd whoop his ass, and that he'd want it to be a Texas death match if it does happen. He would then go on to say that there's no chance of the match actually happening, and that he's not competing at WrestleMania 32. We don't know what to think. Austin may want to do it. Austin may be signed to do it. He may be talking about doing it. But Vince McMahon ultimately said, you know what, Steve? Shut your fucking mouth, throw away the key, and just stay quiet until we actually announce that you're going to be there. We don't know. All right? We don't know. It's only up to Austin. Jim Ross is very, very good friends with Stone Cold. So he has inside information that only he would get from Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, WWE has Austin on the cover of 2K16 now. A lot of rumors going around that he may be doing something big at WrestleMania if they're putting him on the cover, if they're giving him the main spotlight in the game. We don't know. It's all rumors. You're going to have to wait. Would Austin fit into WrestleMania and the plans for WrestleMania? Absolutely. Austin walked away from the business. Would it be a great way for him to just close the door, finally, on his wrestling career with WrestleMania 32 against an opponent of his choosing inside the biggest arena that WWE has ever held an event, especially for WrestleMania, setting all types of records? Yes, it would be great. And he knows that. The money's going to be there. We don't know. So it's pretty much up to Steve Austin, and only time will tell on that one, all right? Fans began questioning Austin's involvement at the event again on July 6th, like I just previously mentioned, when it was announced that Austin would be on the cover for WWE 2K16. This, of course, prompted not only Austin to deny the rumors yet again, but Jim Ross, the Oklahoma Sooner, has refuted rumors of Austin wrestling at WrestleMania 32 before. Ross writes this week on JRsBarbecue.com. Amazing the publicity and positive response that WWE has garnered with the announcement that Steve Austin is on the cover of 2K16, due out in October. Now the Austin wrestling at WrestleMania Texas, AT&T Stadium, this entire thing will commence again simply because of what happened, but I can tell you that it's not happening. Sorry folks, the park is closed, said in the late John Candy's voice. Ross also discusses how Cesaro is definitely a main eventer and needs to stay in that spot moving forward. You could always read the entire blog of Jim Ross at jrsbarbecue.com. All right, so that's that. Austin, nobody's going to know. Give it time. You know, I'm sure Vince and Austin don't want to let the cat out of the bag right now. But I personally see Austin at WrestleMania doing something spectacular, man. You know, wrestling would be ideal. But, again, a lot of ifs. His neck, his injuries, his body. Is he going to hold up? How is he going to hold up in a match against Brock Lesnar, etc., etc.? All those questions will be coming up from everybody, but Austin at WrestleMania just makes the most sense business-wise, man, especially to close the book on his fucking career. I know he's done everything, but you can't let something like that, man. WrestleMania 32, AT&T Stadium, 110,000 people. You can't let that go by, man. It's going to be fucking special, and I know Austin's going to want to be there in some way, man, in a major way, all right? A new edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter has provided further details surrounding Tyson Kidd's near-fatal injury that he suffered during a pre-Raw Dark match with Samoa Joe in June. As previously reported, Kidd was forced to undergo surgery for the issue almost immediately and will miss up to 14 months of in-ring action. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter goes on to expand this claim, saying, Kidd made a tweet about this injury, which ended up being far worse than anyone knew. He said that only about 5% of the people who get the injury he suffered survive. That's fucking crazy. I was told, Meltzer says, from somebody close to the situation that was legit, and that it was right after suffering the injury in the hospital in Texas, that the doctors told him first he was lucky to be alive. After surgery, he was told by doctors that it was because of the injury, and the injury was so high in the neck that in most cases such an injury would be fatal, but he survived because he was an athlete who had such a muscular neck. The operation included putting 16 staples, 4 screws, and a rod in his neck. Man, that is fucking crazy. Wish Tyson Kidd the best of luck. Will he be back in action? I don't know, man. You know, that's very, very scary to go through. Very, very scary to come back and even train to get back in the ring, man. And just being worried about it happening again and putting all that pressure on your neck again, man. I don't know about Tyson Kidd wrestling again, but according to reports, he's going to be out for 14 months, and I wish him the very best. He just hit his stride after being on the sidelines in WWE for so long. Finally found something right with him to do. Put him with Cesaro, and now he gets injured, man, just when they were fucking hitting their stride. Sucks to see it, but I wish Tyson Kidd the best of luck, and hopefully he will be back in a WWE ring. I got news on Chris Jericho. I know I got news on Chris Jericho somewhere here, unless I missed it. I think I reported it. Chris Jericho was injured at NXT against Adrian Neville, but he'll be fine. Not too serious on that one. News on NXT Takeover for SummerSlam weekend. NXT Takeover Brooklyn. That is going to air live on the WWE Network on August 22nd. I'm hoping to be there if tickets don't go on sale and are sold out like that. That's going to take place in the same arena as SummerSlam on August 23rd and Monday Night Raw on August 24th, the Barclays Center in New York. According to Dave Meltzer of F4W Online, up until a week or so ago, WWE was still planning on running the next NXT TakeOver event on August 12th from Full Sail University in Orlando, where NXT is usually shot. As previously reported, WWE was discussing doing an NXT live event either the Friday or Saturday night before SummerSlam in New York, possibly at the Manhattan Center on 34th Street, but plans were adapted to move the event to the Barclays Center and draw more people in the door. Meltzer states that a show like this will really be a test for WWE to see how hot of a brand NXT really is. And Dave Meltzer says, and I quote, "The company announced that they would be running 3 straight nights at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, with the announcement of a WWE Network special on 8/22 of the most ambitious NXT show to date, which is rumored to be headlined by Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens for the NXT Championship in a rematch from WWE Beast in the East. To this point, NXT has mostly booked 1,000 to 2,000 seat arenas, with the exception of selling out San Jose during WrestleMania weekend with 4,700 seats. This would be a 13,500 seat arena, although we're told that they are going to set it up for about half of that for the NXT show. SummerSlam sold out instantly, and Raw is also sold out. And if they need to release more tickets, they will indeed do so. It'll be interesting to see what their max is, because this will be a big show. In the sense, all the TV will be building matches for Brooklyn. Plus, while it's not the kind of tourism that Mania gets, there are still lots of people who travel for SummerSlam, and it is in the New York market. Plus, NXT is a really hot brand right now, so I expect it to do very well, says Dave Meltzer. Continuing on with Meltzer's newsletter. My feeling is that TNA, when they weren't a damaged brand, could have done 7,500 or more in a New York area show for a major pay-per-view, like Bound for Glory or Lockdown, since they only did 5,500 for just a house show at a stadium and 5,500 in Lowell, Massachusetts for a Lockdown show many, many years ago. NXT doesn't have the exposure level of a TNA, but it has WWE promoting it. It's piggybacking off SummerSlam and has the hot product buzz. This is a real test to see where NXT is, because New York is going to be the best market. The day before SummerSlam is a great day for them to do a show, and it's the first time running a major arena. The matches themselves, at least the top stuff with the good workers, are likely to be tremendous. Okay? The next set of NXT TV will be all about promoting this show. They would go head-to-head with 2 other shows in the market. A Ring of Honor show at MCU Field with Shinsuke Nakamura and Kazuchika Okada, hope I pronounced that right, as guest stars, as well as WWE House Show in White Plains, which is not too far from where I am, which will have most of the mainline stars, and it's a lock. The NXT show will greatly outdraw both. Jim Ross is also at a press time doing a live talk show at the Gramercy Theater in Manhattan, which I also wanted to go to, which I believe tickets are still on sale for that, which is about 6 miles away from the Barclays Center. But there is at least a good shot that that will be moved to an afternoon show to avoid the competition. So they will be doing a live network special on the 22nd, SummerSlam, another live network special on the 23rd, followed by a live Raw, also at the Barclays Center on 8/24. The 8/22 show will be promoted as the NXT TakeOver show that was originally scheduled for 8/12 at Full Sail University, or at least that was the plan as of a few days ago. Tickets for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn go on sale through Ticketmaster on July 18th. Now, one piece of information that I want you guys to wrap your heads around. 13,500 seats for the Barclays Center. I like that the WWE is not going to try and cram 14,000 fucking people inside the Barclays Center for an NXT event. I like that they're limiting that to about half, 6,500 or so for NXT. Why is that good? Because NXT is NXT, man. I like that it's intimate. I like that it's a small setting. You get more out of the product. You get that buzz that you don't see on a Monday Night Raw on a regular weekly basis, man. The crowd is going to be insane. You got 6,500 people jam-packed into that maximum capacity if they're going to cut that in half. The intimate setting is going to make it a memorable setting, man, and that's what I love most about NXT. I love the crowd and the way they react during these live takeover specials, man. There's nothing like it in WWE, and that's what makes the show so memorable. We know that a Finn Balor, a Kevin Owens, a Samoa Joe, a Charlotte, a Sasha Banks, whoever else they got on the show, we know they're going to outwork themselves and fucking put on a fantastic show. Tyler Breeze, Hideo Itami, Sami Zayn, etc., etc. You guys know they're going to put on a fucking great show. But the crowd is what makes that show, man. The intimate setting, and I like that WWE is keeping true to that tradition. That's what NXT is, man. If you're going to fill 13,000 people, you just might as well call it Monday Night Raw, man. It's not going to be an NXT TakeOver event. So kudos to WWE for having some common sense with that. I really like that. And hopefully I can get some tickets for that. Like I said, tickets go on sale July 18th through Ticketmaster, all right? Finally, guys, one final note on TNA. As you noticed, if you're watching Impact on Destination America, Global Force Wrestling, Jeff Jarrett, has been featured on TNA. He won the King of the Mountain at their last pay-per-view, the King of the Mountain Championship. All right, he was back on Impact after a really, really rough dismissal and just a really dirty way he left the company. There was bad blood all over the place. TNA stars now, all right, are pretty much saying that they're going to invade Global Force Wrestling and try and win their world championship. So new reports have provided further details on why TNA and Global Force Wrestling are set to work together with an invasion angle in the upcoming months. As previously reported, the two promotions began working towards this program a few weeks back when GFW owner and former TNA world champ Jeff Jarrett returned to Impact Wrestling and worked Slammiversary, winning the main event King of the Mountain match. TNA stars are sending GFW stars, especially Jarrett, messages on Twitter about how they're coming to GFW to try and be the first ever GFW World Heavyweight Champion since Jarrett came to TNA and won the King of the Mountain title. Stars like former TNA World Heavyweight Champion Bobby Roode and Eric Young are just two of the TNA superstars set to invade Global Force Wrestling on July 24th during the promotion's first set of TV tapings. The company doesn't even have a television deal in place that the public is aware of, although some people believe that Destination America will be showing GFW material during Impact Wrestling and their time slot as part of this invasion angle. Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter shares why this idea is a swing for the fences type move and why many are looking at it negatively. If you guys don't know what that means, swing for the fences, TNA is pretty much sitting at the poker table and putting all their chips into the pot, man. They're going to play their hand. If it fails, they lose everything. If it wins, it could be fucking great for both promotions. That's what that means. Swing for the fences, all right? Meltzer says, to end off the script, one thing regarding GFW, interpromotional feud and angle with TNA. A lot of people are negative about it, thinking it will not work. And in a company whose business is mostly ratings, the first week was a terrible blow. But as far as keeping the TV deal as is, this is a Hail Mary, and you have to try. TNA is pretty much, like I said, putting all their chips in the pot because they don't know whether they're going to be around in September with Destination America or be canceled. The big question is unanswered, is if Destination America doesn't change its mind about cancellation, does Destination America want them off the air so they have a time slot for their own programming in the fall, or would they accept a deal like they have with Ring of Honor for maybe an hour or 2 hours where the promoting is provided for free? If TNA has no other TV options, it at least keeps them alive in the US. The slashing costs and not signing talent whose contracts are up are lowering overhead for TNA. The Ring of Honor precedent makes you think it's possible. The negative is if the word gets out that TNA is providing programming for free, it'll become even harder to get anyone to pay for it, and Destination America will probably never pay for it again. But with time running out, if it's a scenario that keeps the perception of them as a living, breathing television wrestling promotion in the US alive. For Jarrett, he's got to do whatever he can to get attention for his brand, and this has at least gotten attention. And it gives him access to some good talent, which is a new setting, Remember, AJ Styles couldn't draw at all with TNA, and then he left and was headlining to far bigger houses in most places he went, and that was happening before New Japan made him the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. This is a Hail Mary for TNA. They're going all in. If it fails, they're done. If it works out, if the ratings show that people are interested in this, they may be sticking around. But this right now, all this depends, and it's a desperation maneuver right now for TNA. I'm interested to see what GFW does. I would love to see their tournament unfold and how they crown a new champion. If they have a television deal, if I can find anywhere to watch it, I certainly will. And I will gladly talk about it here on Off the Script. But that is what's going on with TNA and GFW. If you guys wanted to know why you see them kind of mingling with each other back and forth, and why Jeff Jarrett was on Impact Wrestling and won the King of the Mountain Championship at their last pay-per-view Slammiversary. Thank you guys so much for watching Off the Script. It's so happy to go over 15 minutes, man. It feels so fucking good to go over 15 minutes, man. This is what I love to do. This is what I love bringing you guys, and I'm glad you guys are here to enjoy it again, man, the way it's intended. This is JD. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. Greatly helps me out. I feel good. It supports the channel. If you guys don't own an Off the Script t-shirt, please go out and support, man. It helps me out. Helps the channel out. It helps out my store on Pro Wrestling Tees. ProWrestlingTees.com/WWE Off The Script. They're fucking fantastic. I love it. Getting mine very, very soon. I'll be sporting it on the show every single week. And if you guys are not following me on Twitter, at JD from NY206, and everywhere else on social media to keep up to date on my channel. I will be back on Friday with Off the Script the way it should be. Going to try and get Joe Cronin on the channel to talk about Battleground this coming week. I'll let you guys know about that. And obviously, Battleground preview and predictions next week for Off the Script, as well with a full review of the show next week, immediately following the pay-per-view, man. Stay tuned to my channel. Big things coming up. Thank you so much for watching. This is JD, and I will see you next week for the #1 fucking source right here on YouTube.com for all WWE. This is Off the Script, and I'll see you guys later, man. Thank you for watching.